Well, on this FHS podcast, I'm delighted to have the founder and managing director of Aleph Hospitality, the largest independent hotel management company in the Middle East and Africa, Bani Haddad. Bani, my friend, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Jonathan. Thank you for having me.
Now, Bani, I wanted to ask you, as I do sometimes on these podcasts, a little bit about your journey in the industry and where it all started. And what led you to where you are today?
Like most of the hoteliers, always an exciting journey. Been a hotelier all my life. Started as a waiter even before beginning my studies in a hotel school in France, and then to Cornell as with an MBA, had a variety of jobs within large groups, mostly in Europe, whether it's Starwood, Accor, worked a lot with Disney in France, and until I was a general manager for one of the hotels in Disneyland Paris, and then moved to Dubai to set up actually a hotel management company with a master franchise for what at the time was a groundbreaking, changing event in the hospitality industry landscape in the region. We brought the first limited service brand to the region, and everyone thought we were crazy because everyone thought that in the Middle East people would want only luxury and valet service. And from there on, I kept on developing. But that experience when I first came to Dubai, developing the Holiday Inn Express with a company called HMS at the time, gave me a real insight on the management of branded hotels or hotels in general. And I saw and I understood how independent hotel management company make a difference for hotel owners. And so this model stayed in my mind. As I joined Wyndham, set up the office in the Middle East and grew the company here, this model remained as something that's itching me and saying, I was always thinking, there's a lack of properly set up independent hotel companies, third-party operators in the region.
And that brings us to 2015, doesn't it? When you
that brings us to 2015, absolutely.
When you launched Aleph Hospitality. Yep. So tell us a little bit about Aleph Hospitality and just share with us the inspiration behind that and how you're different and what sets you apart from other hotel management companies.
Yeah, sure. I mean, listen, the motivation behind it is, as I said, it was this gap that we saw in the market, in the market in this region. We did not reinvent the wheel. The concept of third-party operator exists in the US, in Europe. It's very common. It's the most common model, actually. But it didn't exist here. As I was growing Wyndham in the region, as my business partner Neil was growing Starwood in the region, we kind of both realized that, we would love to franchise and have a reliable franchise partner operator on the ground to help us grow faster and relieve us from the day-to-day operation. So this is the gap identification in the market that we've noticed, and this is why we set up Aleph Hospitality. And we wanted really to offer something to hotel owners which is a little bit more customizable, personalized in terms of management. And that's exactly what sets us apart, Jonathan, at Aleph Hospitality. It is really our focus. We put the owner at the center of what we do. We work for the owners, no one else. We have amazing relationships with all of the brands. We're an approved operator by all of the international brands. Already work with all of them in the region. But what really sets us apart is this close relationship that we develop with our owners, this very lean structure that we have in place, the lack of red tape. Any one of our owners can call us immediately for any issue, and he will react very, very a dynamic response from our end, from decision makers. We don't need to go to a board in Europe and the US. That decisions are made, and that makes a massive difference for hotel owners. Another, I think, differentiator for us is the culture that we've built within our company. People love working for us just because we're, I believe we've recruited, first of all, an amazing group of talented people. And we give them the freedom to do what they want because in most cases, they know their job better than I do. So that culture is another very big differentiator.
So key factors to your success has been, that relationship you have with the owners, that amazing team that you've put in place to manage these properties. And is that going to be the reason for your continued success, or is that in contribution to this general trend of the hotel companies really focusing on that franchise market?
Listen, I mean, the franchising, there are a number of things which will really help us in our journey to continue to grow. One of the main drivers now is the franchise model, which has gained really big momentum in the region. And some of the brands who were 80% managed, 20% franchised in the region, now the percentage has flipped to 60% franchised, 40% managed. This in the last 5 years. This is massive. So the trends are in our favor, and I would like to think that we have played a role in, making this mind shift, not only for the brands, but also for the investment community. But, a couple of other factors. Obviously, our focus on the region here, on the Middle East and Africa, makes us really experts in these markets and, understand the differences, understand the mentality, the culture. And that's, again, very important. When you're running an asset on a day-to-day, you want someone who really understands all these, intricacies of each and every market. And finally, the brands themselves, Jonathan, and they've realized that it's much better for them to let go the management. And in many cases, when we're talking about a mid-scale product, even a five-star hotel or 3-star, it doesn't matter anymore. We're running hotels from 3-star to 5-star plus. I'm sitting here at the Marriott Marquis in Dubai, which we've opened recently. It's a beautiful property. And we also have a Best Western that we run in Nairobi. But the brands have actually realized it's better for them and more efficient for them to hand over the day-to-day management to a professional entity who can respect, maintain their brand standards while helping them to grow their flags and their footprint in the region.
Okay, interesting. I know you've got a pipeline of 50 hotels by 2027, and what are your strategies for this growth and what regions? Because I know obviously you're strong in Africa as well, you're strong in Middle East, but where are you focusing? Where are you seeing the growth?
For us, we're for the time being, we're not in the foreseeable future for the next 3 to 5 years, let's say, we're not going outside of the Middle East and Africa. I don't think so. As you said, we're very strong in Africa. We are now growing fast in the Middle East as well, in the GCC. We've opened Doha before the World Cup. We now have 2 large properties in Dubai. We have opened an office about a year ago in Saudi Arabia. We have 7 projects under development, with the first one opening in the next few months in Jeddah. So the GCC, I would say, is now our focus. Our growth in Africa will continue mostly organically, and as a testament to what we have done, people call us in Africa. People call us. They call us because they've heard about us. They call us because our existing owners refer their friends. Sometimes our existing owners have other properties that they hand over to us to operate. So Africa, Africa as much as I do, and is another very big market. We're going to announce soon a new market in Africa, which is North Africa and Morocco. That's another achievement for us, and we're very proud of it. So Morocco will be a big focus for us over the next 12 to 18 months as well.
So you mentioned about the 60-40 split between franchise and managed in the Middle East approximately, but how does that change in Africa? In Africa, I would imagine a lot of it is managed at the moment because there isn't that expertise. And if that's the case, how are you managing to get that expertise?
Surprisingly, Africa has been, owners in Africa, but also brands have been more open to franchise than the GCC countries. And that's why we started in Africa. We gained really time in Africa by developing faster there because hotel owners were a bit more open to the idea, and they were a bit more open to listen to the benefits, to understand the benefits that our model offers when it comes to more control, when it comes to higher profitability. They were much more in tune with this story, and they were much more interested. It is true, however, that historically it was very difficult to find local management companies in Africa. Very selectively, South Africa, you have a few of these, but generally on the continent, it's true. We were the first to establish ourselves as a fully fledged hotel management company, and we've built a great local team as well. So we have a cluster presence in East Africa. We're now building a cluster presence with a regional office in Morocco. So that helps us really be much more reactive and present for our hotel owners on a day-to-day basis. It's very difficult, Jonathan, for us to say, we're managing hotels, I don't know, in Morocco, even in Saudi Arabia. That's why we have opened the office in Saudi Arabia. Very difficult for me to say I'm managing a hotel in Saudi Arabia if I don't have a presence on the ground.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, the last time we got together was at the Marriott Marquis, a fantastic property in New York, actually iconic for Dubai as well. Very accessible to the airport, fabulous property with that convention center that'll be up and running by, 2027?
Right here, yeah.
A very good property. So well done on adding that to your portfolio. When it comes to innovation and technology, what is it you're doing on that side of the business that's going to improve efficiencies for your owners?
As you know, we work with hotel brands, large hotel brands, whether it's Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham, IHG. So we tend to use the technologies that they now, we do have a portfolio of hotels which is unbranded, and we work with our tech partners, whether it is for the PMS, whether it is for the building management systems, to try and incorporate whatever we're learning and whatever they have to offer us. For our owners, we have developed a mobile app which will allow them to have direct access on the performances of their hotels, which is really something truly unbelievable. We haven't seen, I don't know any other company who has this for their hotel owners. We have also done something as a company. We have created, as you remember, the Aleph Innovation Lab, which is kind of an incubator for pre-seed startups, where we offer them to come and work from our offices, and we provide them a variety of benefits, support from me and from myself and Neil, but also from the entire team, whether it's for financial modeling, whether it's for marketing, whether it's from human resources, and we ensure that their product is ready to go and raise money. So we've had a couple of companies who have graduated. Let's say one of them we're very proud of, Burnt. They're now in New York, and they're basically offering hotels and restaurants. It's a mobile app that offers chefs and the restaurant managers to directly order through supplies. It eliminates a lot of time. It has a predictive as well component that manages the stocks, etc. So this innovation lab, has had two benefits. Obviously, it's us giving back, giving from our time, giving support for these companies. But also, what we've noticed is because everyone within Aleph is helping and dedicating a bit of time, it is, kind of forcing us to think outside of our day-to-day job and think about something which is slightly different, a little bit more innovative. And I guess that this is part of something that every company needs to have to keep progressing and keep at the edge of what is being offered and what could be offered as well for their guests and clients.
Good for you for doing that. And certainly as a platform, we're absolutely doing that with our various competitions, the Women in Startup competition with UN, with our leadership competitions, our Women Power campaigns. So I think all of us need to be collectively doing this and trying to innovate, and of which you're actually on a panel at FHS World around the corner, and you're speaking on the future of hospitality management, so on the stage with other brands as well. So what are some of the key trends and challenges that you're going to be addressing on this panel?
So the trends are clearly, as we mentioned briefly, is one, the shift from pure management, direct management contracts by the brands to franchise. That there's all the data all shows that in the region there is a massive shift. That's one. With this comes a need for a professional management companies such as Aleph Hospitality. And when you're talking to an independent third-party operator, there's a wide range of benefits, advantages that are offered for the hotel owners. And to address these trends, some of these trends, one of them is the flexibility in the contract. You've had on all your conferences for as long as I can remember a panel on balancing the power between the owners and the operators. Well, we're here offering that. We're actually giving what the owners have been crying for: more flexible terms, sometimes shorter terms, not 25, 30 years. We're offering them easy exit options. We're offering them real performance tests. We're offering them a bit more control and say in the day-to-day operation. So these are the trends that we're seeing. We're also seeing a trend where, this flexibility and having a management team who's really responsive and really not having to wait for some decision-making somewhere. And no, an owner who has invested tens, hundreds of millions of dollars in a hotel, he wants to pick up the phone and say, I don't like this, I want this different. And he needs to see action. So this relationship is really very valuable for our hotel owners, and they really enjoy it. And then, obviously, the understanding of the local market is a key element because whether it's the culture, the seasonality, the knowing who the good suppliers are, and not just going because we have a global procurement agreement. So all of these make really a difference for hotel owners.
And just picking up, Bani, on the short-term contracts that you provide to owners, which is in contrast to the typically much longer contracts that owners need to sign. How much of a risk is that for you, though, as well? Because you've got a lot of assets in place as well, a lot of risk at place when you're investing in managing a property. So how does that work for you, having a short-term contract?
So a short-term, when we talk about short-term, let me be clear so it's not misunderstood. We're not talking about 2-3 years contract, not even 5 years, but we would do a 10-year contract, for example, which is not possible for a brand managed. But there are ways for us also to mitigate this risk by selecting the right partner, making sure that there is in alignment of objectives. It takes us a little bit of time. We've lost some contracts because we didn't do proper diligence in the past and on how this relationship was going to work. But essentially, we're a service provider, Jonathan. So if the owner, the investor who has the money is not satisfied with my services, even if I had 25 years contracts, and he wants to terminate me, who am I to say, no, you cannot terminate me, you're not happy with my services, right? I'm a service provider. And that's the difference. I don't have what the brands have. The brands have their management, their service, but they also have the IP of their brand. And if you change a flag on a hotel from Marriott and all of a sudden it becomes something else, the company loses not only the management fees, but it also, there's an impact on their image, which is much lower for us. So we consider ourselves, we're service providers. We're working for our owners. As long as we're doing a good job, and I don't see for the time being, we're really doing a good job. Owners are actually asking us to operate more hotels for them. It's a win-win situation. It's actually a triple win situation for us, for the owner, and for the...
No, that's true. And also by providing the data to your owners, communicating with your owners, keeping them informed, keeping them engaged, and is obviously a key reason for success.
A lot of comfort. It gives them a lot of comfort.
Interesting. Just looking at sustainability, of course, at FHS, we've got numerous sessions. We've got the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance participating. To me, this is all about innovation as well. But what is it that Aleph are doing in this space at the moment?
So, a couple of things. Again, in the same fashion as for the innovation, for the hotels which are branded, we of course have directive and we have brand standards. We have initiatives which are brand driven that we apply, that we follow. But generally speaking, on top of that, what we did a couple of years ago, we launched the Aleph Cares program, which is our sustainable and our corporate responsibility, social responsibility program for Aleph. And it's a very well thought and thorough program, which we implemented across all of our hotels. We have champions in each one of our hotels. And we give, it's actually part of the KPIs for all of our general managers with very clear objectives. Now, these objectives, obviously, a city hotel can do things that a resort hotel cannot do, or vice versa. So there's a common denominator where, whether it's, energy efficiency initiatives, but there are other initiatives that we ask every and each hotel to come up with, and they're being extremely creative with that. Some of them are obviously environmental. Some of them are more social. So in Africa, our hotels help a lot, orphanage, schools, the Red Cross. We're very committed with the Red Cross, for example, in Kenya. On the sustainability, we're using a lot of recyclable products. We recycle a lot of the products that we have. One of our hotels in Kenya, the Boma, for example, is taking all the used soap. Many guests use the soap once or twice during their stay, and then we throw it. So we're collecting these, cleaning them, making them into small bar soaps, and then distributing them for the local community to improve the hygiene, etc. At our hotel here in Dubai, we've just implemented a water filling plant at the hotel to limit the wastage, to limit transport, etc. So we have a wide range of activities, and it's a very important component of our management, and that's why we've implemented the Aleph Cares program.
Excellent. That's really good to hear. Just looking at our industry, I mean, you must probably agree with me that we are working in probably the most exciting and dynamic markets in the world, being the Middle East. and Africa. I can only assume you can concur with that. But what do you see are some of the challenges for us, those of us who are in this space and hospitality companies? How do we remain resilient in this, geopolitical challenges that we have at the moment?
Listen, funny you mentioned this because if you take Africa this summer, it has been quite a challenging environment, with the monkeypox, which came out of nowhere, and it had a direct impact on the travel, on our industry. But we also had across Africa a series of unrests, and it's always happening. So the key for us at Aleph Hospitality is really to diversify one of them is really to diversify our portfolio geographically. Second is geographically between the Middle East and Africa, but also just to balance this risk, but also within the continent, let's say, of Africa and the actual type of hotels that we have. We made a conscious decision to push to have city hotels, corporate hotels, but also resort leisure hotels. We're now diversifying as well. We're growing our luxury portfolio, which we're going to talk about publicly in the next couple of months. So it is actually at FHS. We're going to make some announcements. So this is one thing. Technology is another aspect that we are really looking into to see how we can limit our operating risks related to recruitment, to training, to employee turnover, but also to guest satisfactions, and how do we continuously address the frustration that a hotel guest can have when staying in one of our hotels. So technology is something that we're trying to explore. It's changing, evolving. There are many products all the time, we're trying to see which ones we can use in our day-to-day operation, whether it's to improve the guest experience, but also to improve our ability to analyze the data, forecasting. Total revenue management is something that we're very big on. We're implementing it. We're implementing company-wide training for total revenue management, not only for the sales and revenue managers, but for the general manager, for the other head of department. And recruitment, primarily recruitment, that's another big challenge in our region, more in some countries than others. Obviously, we have less challenges, let's say, in Dubai than what we have in Kinshasa or other secondary cities in Africa. But the benefit for employees of having a management company like Aleph, and we've proven over the last 9 years that we're able now to offer our employees across the region a career path, and that is something very valuable for us and our team members.
Interesting. You touched on a lot of things there, from diversification through to the whole staffing issues, the digital transformation that you're going through at the moment. So, great. Makes absolute sense what you're doing, Bani, and congratulations to everything you're doing as you innovate and, you disrupt the industry in a good way. FHS, round the corner. You've been part of our journey for a very long time. Just give us a snapshot on how beneficial you find our events, and from our recent FHS Saudi to what was in the past AHIC, now FHS World in Dubai.
Yeah, you said it, Jonathan. We've been part of your events across the Middle East and Africa since 2015 or 2016. We've just renewed our commitment to you for another 3 years. So that by itself is a testament of us finding value in these events. I think you guys have done a great job in ensuring that all the key players come and attend, all the stakeholders. You've managed to create an environment for which is really exciting for us as hotel operators, but I guess as well for hotel owners, because we're seeing more and more owners coming. So it's a nice environment for people to, understand what's going on in this industry, make new connections. It's always also very nice to see old connections and to gather as an industry. But also, what we are also liking is your capacity of evolving the event and, bringing in the new ideas every year with the innovation, then with, the sustainability aspect as well. All of these are very important because they're taking a bigger part of our day-to-day job.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, thank you for that, Bani. It's good. It's nice to have that confidence with FHS just around the corner, and we will see you there. Look forward to seeing you and your team. And Bani, thank you for your support and enthusiasm for us and what we do. And as always, we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Good. Thanks.